Weri from Kenya.
Shine, shine, shine. You shine and you shine. And just in the name of Jesus.
It will be held from 13th to 17th August 2025 at Zambia Chirombe Grounds, Kampala. Time 8 a.m. Come and take your miracle.
Mwenna abantu b'Ekirombe mwenna abali awo mujje mu lukuŋŋaana. The Lord will seriously bless you.
All you are welcome. This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings CHAN 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. 1 tournament, 1 region, 1 heartbeats. CHAN 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business, it is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Booza Kamis now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
Junko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Junko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The Parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
I can confidently say that in the 5 divisions that make up Kampala, the sun is bright and out, and no need to worry in case you're driving to town or you have plans to do anything in town. So far, the weather is the pearl of African weather that usually is dominated by sunshine, moderate sunshine. Welcome to the Extra. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, and today I'm going to be discussing something very important if you understand it and venture into it. What is that? Well, we are going to be understanding shares in the capital markets and how the Capital Markets Authority regulates stock markets. Thank you for being with us. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, and joining me to discuss this is John Were, who is the Senior Communications Manager or Public Relations Officer at the Uganda Securities Exchange. You're most welcome, John.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. I am happy to be here at UBC TV and speak to our audience outside there. Thank you.
Now, to begin with, when you talk about the Uganda Security Exchange, what is this all about? What's your mandate?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, Uganda Securities Exchange is the principal stock market of Uganda. And Robert, I commit, I'll try my best to speak the everyday language to make sure the everyday person can appreciate this whole subject. So Uganda Securities Exchange, it's a stock market and it's the principal stock market of Uganda. I would liken it our markets like Owino, but basically a difference here, this is an Owino of financial instruments. This is an Owino of financial services, the shares, government securities, and the like. But basically, it's like any other market, except it's a market for financial instruments. And just like other markets, we talk about Owino, there's an authority in there that regulates it, just like in Akawa or any other market or Nakasero. So in this case, for USE, we also have the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda, which regulates the market to make sure the market is working well and everything is in order, so that all the interests of stakeholders involved are taken care of, right from the companies raising capital to the investors and any other stakeholder.
Let's understand, what are capital markets?
So basically, like I said earlier on, I will endeavor to use everyday language so that I can leave the corporate and investment jargon aside. So basically, capital markets, we should call them more of a savings and the growth zone for money.
Savings
and the growth zone
and
for
a
money.
Growth zone for money.
Yes. Basically,
so you save your money, it grows.
Yes. It's one place where to people meet. The people who are looking for long-term capital go to capital markets. Like it's a market for capital. And if you guys may remember, we have had several IPOs, including the recent ones. Later on, maybe I will explain what IPOs are. Like you had the MTN IPO, Uganda is home, we had the Airtel IPO, and all the other companies over the years have done IPOs, or they have come to the public to raise capital. So basically, every time we talk about the capital markets, it's that place where companies, institutions, or even government go when they're looking for long-term capital, long-term finance, and then on the other side, individuals or even institutions come who have that money, who are looking for return. So basically, it's a place where those two people meet, but with long-term investment objectives.
One is looking for money, and the other puts the money there.
Yes.
So that it grows and it brings interest.
Yes. Maybe, Robert, a quick one. If I may take it to the known, what all of us appreciate as Ugandans. One of the reasons why we take our money to the banks is to make sure it is safe.
Yes.
The primary role is not to grow it when it comes to banks. It's making sure the money is safe most of the time.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the capital markets, whereas the money will be safe, but the primary reason the everyday person may want to take money into capital market space is return on investment. It is investing long term. Can my money make for me money? That's the biggest question, which brings people to capital markets.
It interprets into what many Ugandans want. While you're sleeping, your money is making money. So if you're to have your money make money, capital markets are a thing there. But these may seem for the elite, the people in the corporate world. How important are they to the ordinary person?
Okay, thank you. Robert, I'm glad you raised it. Many people outside there think the capital markets are for the elite.
Yes.
We also have some who think capital markets are for the rich people. But contrary to that, capital markets are an everyday thing. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday we had our cranes playing. But besides the cranes, we have international matches like Manu Chelsea, which Ugandans follow. They can even understand which team is on form, which team is likely to win, and they go ahead to bet in them. Now here in the capital market, we're talking about everyday companies whose products they use. The only difference here is we are saying, as opposed to just buying the products of this company called New Vision, the newspapers, or this company called Stanbic, the banking services, or called the QCL, Quality Chemicals, they are drugs. We're now saying, you know, in the capital market space, you now get an opportunity to even sit on the dining table of that company by becoming one of the owners. Whereas I'm using English here, when you reach the stockbrokers and the people who help you do this, they will speak to you to any Ugandan language you can appreciate, and they will endeavor to break down these things to the bare minimum to make sure you can appreciate them. So that everybody can invest in them, irrespective of academic level and irrespective of financial level. Because I will tell you, even as little as 50,000, 10,000, 100, somebody can begin investing in shares or even government securities.
Very interesting. Now, what role does that is the Capital Markets Authority play in the share market?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, just like a match, so in the capital markets space, the Capital Markets Authority is the referee. On behalf of the government, regulates to make sure all the players are playing according to the rule, according to the games. And the Capital Markets Authority is established by an act of parliament. So it's a government institution to make sure in the capital market space, everything is regulated and then the investors are protected. So whatever is done there is done according to the rules in place and the laws. Just like if it was banking again, you see, I'm using the known, what people, the everyday thing to help the public understand the other details. Just like in the banking space, before you look at any commercial bank, you want to know, is Bank of Uganda regulating them? Even when they are making adverts, they will emphasize we are regulated by Bank of Uganda. So in our side, in the capital market space, nothing happens without a regulator. In this case, that's the Capital Market Authority as a referee. That's the principal role, if I may summarize, that the Capital Market Authority plays when it comes to the shares side, where Uganda Securities Exchange plays.
Well, thank you so much for that for our viewer. So far, I think you're moving with us. You're understanding what we are talking about this morning. Now, when we talk about making money grow, I know very many of us are very excited. You have some money, and if you know there is a safe zone where you put it, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to do so much, but the money is growing. Now, what must I know before investing in shares?
Thank you. So, there are a number of things any first-time investor must know before investing in shares. One, you must be sure that the company you're investing in is listed on the stock market. In this case, if a company claims to come and buy shares, we are in the capital market space, come and buy shares, we are raising money from the public, and then you find out that company is not listed on the stock market, it's a red flag, please don't proceed. And how do you find out? Check our website, www.use.or.ug, or check the website of CMA. Those two sources will help you to confirm whether this company is actually listed or not. Then the other bit, you need to find out, if I'm buying shares in this company, I need to have a stockbroker. Is this stockbroker licensed by the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda?
You mean I can't buy shares just like that?
No. Like, when it comes to getting a house or a rental or land or a car in Uganda, we have people called the brokers. And those are people, Robert, you agree with me, that me and you fear a lot, brokers. Every time a Ugandan hears the word broker, different images come to mind. Now, when it comes to the stock market, what we call stock brokers, these are legit licensed firms by the Capital Markets Authority to enable Ugandans or anybody else in Uganda, outside Uganda, any part of the world, global, local investor to participate in the Capital Markets Authority. And if I may highlight, these are legit companies Ugandans can attest. One of them is SBG Securities under the Stanbic Bank. That's the Stand Group. The other one is under the Old Mutual, that's OMIG, Old Mutual Investment Group. The other one is Cheaper Technologies Uganda under Cheaper Cash. We talk about Day and Blair under Day and Blair Investment Bank, Crested Capital. So you notice these are big companies themselves, they are legit and well regulated, with even investment advice technique enough to give you the guidance you need to break down the performance of these companies and track record to enable you make a sound investment decision.
Very interesting there. Now, let's also look at, where do I go?
If you want to invest?
Yes, where do I go?
If you want to invest in the shares, the first place you go is to check out the CMA website. At this level, you know which companies are on the market. You have checked out USA, Uganda Securities website, you know which companies are on the market. But you now actually want to start. One, you can go to those stock brokers. The names I've been talking about, all of them have websites, and all of them on the website of Uganda Securities Exchange. They are also on the website of the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda. So you can either visit them physically, use the phone numbers, use the email, either way it works. But even away from that, you may not even need to first go there. Anywhere where you are, we have simplified access to the market, that anybody can access it. If you have an MTN line, just mere dialing *165 and you check financial services, you will see Uganda Securities Exchange. So from there, you can even open an account called SCD. I am sure we shall talk about a little more about it. From there, you can start. Or you can even use your Airtel line, *185#. When you see where there's financial services, proceed to Uganda Securities Exchange, you can open your account and then you can actually start. Or you walk into any broker and fill a physical form. So we have several options. Or even EasyPortal, there's a website, www.easyportal.usc. So if you check the EasyPortal, still you can invest in the shares right from there by opening your account.
Now that brings me to the SCD account. What is this?
Yeah, so Robert, like I committed earlier, I will endeavor to use everyday words. So when you talk about SCD account is like a bank account. A bank account, all of it, and all of us, at least many of us appreciate what a bank account is. So whereas a bank account keeps your money and is opened up with the bank, the SCD account is what keeps your shares. Instead of having shares in the form of a certificate, a document, or like a check. So once you open the SCD account, then you can keep your shares. Opening it is free. If you're Ugandan, all you need is your national ID. If you're a foreigner, all you need is your passport. And by the way, anybody in any country in the world can open SCD account and invest in shares. And many of our investors in Uganda are foreign, and some of them are Ugandan, at a rate of about 48 being foreign as of today, and about 52 being the local investors. So all you need is that account, which I've explained what it is. And of course, earlier on, I was hinting on how you can open it using your phone, using internet by going through, just Google USE EasyPortal. That will take you to the link, you can open it, or use your your handset, your phone. You can, like you're going to mobile money menu, you'll find the financial services, you can open it any day, anytime, it's free. Night or day, the systems are open to open the account.
Well, at this time, allow me to go for a very short break. I return with my guest. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings CHAN 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. 1 tournament, 1 region, 1 heartbeat. CHAN 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business, it is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Booza Kamis now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda wange, haven't you heard of the Parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. I'm still with my guest, that is John Were, Senior Communications Officer, Uganda Security Exchange. And we are looking at something very important, understanding shares in the capital markets and how the Capital Markets Authority regulates the stock market. Now, very interesting thing here is you've given us the importance and everything, but there is a question that comes to my mind. Why would I invest in shares? Because you said it's not only for the elite, those that have money or the corporate world, but a person who is working hand to mouth, living hand to mouth. You don't have money. Then you have money to dump there and for another person to come and pick and go and invest. You know, it doesn't add up very well, but makes sense of it.
Okay, thank you, Robert. I think any person would wonder why, as an everyday person, would I even be picking my money to invest or let me use that to give it to a bigger entity. But in this case, you're not simply giving it, you're actually investing it as a way of making a return. So if I'm an investor, potential investor outside there, and I feel I don't have sufficient money, it shouldn't be investing in MTN or Airtel or another company or Stanbic, then maybe that's even a cause enough for you to actually invest in shares. Because at the end of it all, one of the biggest intentions of investing in shares or any capital markets instrument is actually one, to grow your money to make a return. So if you think you don't have the money to invest in the big companies, then maybe actually this is the place you should be investing so that you can actually multiply and get to grow your money over time, especially when you invest in the financial instruments that you get to pay off, either by paying a dividend or in this case by paying a good coupon rate if it's government
also
securities.
Those words, explain them.
Yeah,
coupon rate, dividends.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why people invest in shares is to get dividends. So basically dividends, every time the company makes a profit after a reporting period, say a financial year, they may decide to declare a dividend, which is the money they are giving out as part of the profits to their shareholders. Remember, Robert, at this point in time, you will have bought shares in a particular company, which shares gave you an opportunity to become one of the owners of that company. So every time they make a profit and the company decides to give out this profit to the shareholders, you're also among the shareholders, as much as you are not the founder, not even the vision bearer of the company. So that alone should motivate you to go beyond just buying a product of the company to actually buying its shares. So as a way of buying them, you end up making a profit. So, or even a return, especially when the company declares a profit. So that could be on the motivation why somebody might get their money to invest in a big company as opposed to just eating it today. Because the other option would have been, Robert, let me begin my own business. We all know Uganda is a very good enterprising country. Everybody knows. But also know when it comes to the business rate of collapse among the younger businesses, many of them never get to reach even 5 years. Some never celebrate their first birthday. If I'm working outside there and I have like I'm full-time employed at UBC or in another company, I even don't have time to take care of my side hustle. For many of you listening in and watching us, I mean, you can't count how many side houses you have built and they have collapsed. Maybe this is even a cause enough for you to consider investing in a well-managed and stronger business with a good track record that other people can watch over your money grow, other people can run your businesses, can run the business while you do your everyday job.
Now, that was said while I do my everyday job. But let's also go back and understand properly. You said you shouldn't just invest anywhere.
True.
But also one of the things in shares, when you hear people advertising shares, the monies are so little. One says, there's a term you use, 5,000, some 3,000, you know. And what kind of investment is that?
Yes, so thank you. So, Robert, the purchase of shares themselves, even the price, also sounds so little.
Yes.
Today I will tell you there are even shares which go for as low as about 6 shillings per share, 100 per share. In fact, the majority of the shares as of today on the stock market, they are 500 shillings and below, with even some going as low as 6 shillings per share.
Now what is that?
So the advantage is the shares are broken down small and smaller units to make them affordable. So basically that's even not a challenge, rather it's in the interest of the investor. If the company assuming had only 100 big shares, I'm trying to paint a picture like I said, I would try to break down these things to the everyday language. If it had say only 100 shares, maybe each share would be in billions or even hundreds of millions. So breaking down to fractional shares to smaller units that it can be affordable, it's even an opportunity to give me and you an opportunity to do what? To participate. And therefore, even when dividends are being given, they are given in terms of earnings per share. I may have invested every share 200 shillings, but you might find that every 200 is making me 10 shillings. Or maybe every 6 shillings making me 1 shilling, depending on how the company has performed. So the dividends may look small per share, but even the price is also of shares is also small, with even as low as 6 or even 5 shillings. Robert, today, if you took to a shop 50 shillings,
is it still there?
What would they give you?
Nothing.
But here I'm saying there are companies where you might even buy as much as 9 shares, 6 shares, or even depending on the price. If you took 100 shillings, how many goods will you buy?
A sweet, maybe.
So, whereas the earnings tends to seem little when people hear 2 shillings per share, 10 shillings per share, they forget even the price of those shares is also quite very small most of the time. So it's to an advantage of the investor on the contrary. Yeah.
Very interesting, those sounds. But my brother here said he'll break these things down. Now also, how do I benefit? How do I make the best value of my shares? Because I hear sometimes in some companies, you who bought this, you know, you're sidelined or something like that. As you, the regulator, am I protected? Is there any way they will tell you, no, the big shareholders matter. Now for you who are newspapers read and then went and you don't mean so much to the company.
Okay, thank you. Robert, I will confirm this. As one of the entities which are regulated by the Capital Markets Authority, if there's anybody that CMA really emphasizes when it comes to investor protection, than even any other person is the retail investor, the everyday person like me and you. Because it's assumed, and must be right, that in most cases the retail investor might not even have much information about these companies. So needs a lot of guidance, needs a lot of information. So if you're going to make the best out of investing in shares, one, you need to listen to the right people. In this case, the firms licensed by the Capital Markets Authority of Uganda to give investment advisory, like the stockbrokers I earlier talked about. Then point number 2, you need to understand that investing in shares is beyond just the shares themselves. Behind every share, there's an actual company. Pay attention to the company behind those shares. Try to study the company, study the sector and the industry. What are they doing? If they're in media, what's happening in the media space? If they are into manufacturing, what's happening in the manufacturing? Is the manufacturing sector like having indicators of growth? Look at figures of UBOS. Look at figures, those performance figures everywhere. Look at the annual reports of those companies if you have the opportunity to read them. If you can't engage the stockbrokers, they'll break it down to any Ugandan language that you appreciate best. So seeking advice from right people is something as one must do to make good return and like to gain from shares. And of course, the second, pay attention to the company, whatever it's doing, read whatever it concerns it if you can, look at their financials, and also appreciate that shares are an investment, is not gambling. So also being in there for a long run helps you make better return, better benefit in most cases out of the stocks, as opposed to thinking this is a Man Arsenal match, which I'll bet today and the evening I'm out. Because if you look at the market performance said this year, if you look at what the stocks were in January and today, we have some stocks which have even grown in terms of price, even up to 40%. Yes, that is it. So, but if I bought shares today and I want to sell them tomorrow morning, maybe by that time the price may not have changed, maybe the dividends haven't yet been given out. So that also makes it's good advice for anybody who wants to make the best out of shares. And maybe the last one, which I want to hint on, is if you're getting dividends, you might want to consider to build a portfolio within the shares. So they gave me good dividends, and if you think it makes a good sound decision, maybe you can consider even going on to reinvest or going on to buy more. So at every other day, if you have some extra money on you, say, okay, every month, maybe I will invest this much in my company of my choice. Like you have like a savings box home. If this particular company is of interest to you, and you feel it makes the best sense to you, being in there and continually participating might help you make the best out of this space. But generally, if I may speak on behalf of some of the investors I've seen, people have wonderful stories out there. I just want to request you next time, host some of the investors themselves so they can share with the public their experience, how they have benefited, the challenges and the risks that they have encountered when it comes to investing in shares. But generally, it's something I would encourage.
Well, investing in shares is our topic that we are discussing, and I know many of you, you've heard of this, you've read in the papers, you've had adverts calling people to buy shares. Now, the question is, how safe are we from the crafty, clever Ugandans? Ugandans are everywhere, very, very smart. And I want to put it to you, how do we protect our people? Yes, there's an authority, but me who is going to invest, how do I safeguard myself?
Okay, thank you. Robert, the one thing I'll begin with, we said Uganda is a highly enterprising country with very many companies. But if you asked me how many companies are listed on the stock market, you realize they are not as many as possibly one would have expected. As much as we want everybody to come to Uganda's home of patient capital and list. But sometimes some companies don't make it for lack of sound fundamentals. And of course, those which don't, that will have a different conversation, how we can help them to eventually qualify. So if you see any company on the stock market listed, that in itself means it has been dissected by CMA, by USE, by investment advisors to make sure it makes investment sense before exposing it to Ugandans to invest in it. That's the first place, first of all, to begin. Then point number two, one of the ways that it can be achieved is through investor education. And I believe is one of the reasons why we are here and why the Capital Market Authority keeps pushing for this. If I may quote, CMA has a common slogan, an educated investor is an empowered investor. So when an investor is educated, when an investor is informed, he becomes empowered. So one of it is a continuous financial literacy. Reach out to CMA. There's a very good financial literacy program there. I mean, anywhere, whether you're an investment club, they will come to you. Reach out to USE, whether are you a church, are you a mosque, are you an investment club, are you a circle, who will come to you. And the good news is free of charge and give you the information you need so that you understand what to do and do it right. With that, there's no crafty person that you'll be able to encounter. And I will tell you, if there's any industry which is regulated, one of them is the capital markets industry. Why? This is money. It's money. Everybody wakes up every day to look for money. So I can guarantee there's a lot of protection and many safeties put in there in the interest of you, our dear investor.
Very interesting. So that you should have no excuse as to why you do not invest. We want to see your money grow. We want to see you ensure that it's not only kept in a safe place, like you do in the bank, not to discourage banks, but here is your money growing. Now, when I buy these shares,
yes, Robert,
because we want to break it as simple as we can. Is there a time when I can withdraw my monies? Do I sell? I may reach, and I'm just tired of it, or I have some issues, I want my money, or is it permanently done? I'll now be getting, you call them dividends and...
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. So, Monday to Friday, the capital markets industry works like any other industry. And particularly, the stock market is open every day. Why is it open? For investors who have shares to sell, if they may choose to sell. And for those who want to buy shares, to buy, if they may want, if they may wish to buy shares. So if you are an investor, you have shares of any company, unlike maybe a fixed financial instrument, like a fixed deposit account, or like maybe a bond where you're playing a long term. Of course, even a bond you can sell off in secondary market, but particularly when it comes to shares, you can sell off your shares any day. And even if you bought them today and you want to sell them tomorrow, there's no law against you selling them out. So you can sell your shares anytime, and different investors invest for different reasons. There's an investor who is going to invest because the company already has declared a dividend, it's giving dividends next month, and he invests today before cut-off date. As soon as shares are given, he wants to get out to go and do something else. He will come back, or he wants to invest now in a different company again. We've seen that happen. There's also an investor who says, I invested in this money is supposed to be for school fees. It's supposed to buy land. I have even made some return on it. It's my time to move out. So basically, when you buy the shares, you can, free entrance, free exit, you can buy the shares safely and still invest, buy safely and even exit safely at any time through the stock brokers.
Well, very interesting conversation we've had with John here. And of course, it's all about letting you know that you can get shares, you can buy shares, and we've been trying to understand that is the shares in the capital markets. Now, time is against us, John. I must let you go. I'm very grateful. I've enjoyed the discussion. Let me just give you a minute for your parting shot.
Yeah, thank you, Robert, and thank you for having me. My parting shots are, I want to encourage the Ugandans outside there. Wherever you are, reach out the capital markets out of Uganda, reach out to USA. All these have websites, their phone numbers on those platforms. Maybe I could read one. If it's USA, you can even email us.
Just
even
the
now.
websites.
Yeah, there's an email, info@usa.or.ug. If you want us to come and sensitize, carry out financial literacy, we'll come to you. If you want us to link you to our brokers to help you to start today, we'll come to you. But investing in shares, opening an account is absolutely free. The only requirement you need is a national ID, which every Ugandan has. Don't wait tomorrow. If this makes sense to you, the best time to begin was yesterday. But the best time to begin would have been yesterday. But since it passed, I think it's today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been nice having you. And of course, our viewer, thank you so much for being with us all the way from 6:30 till now. We do appreciate you. See you tomorrow. God willing, have the best of your Tuesday.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo,
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Booza Kamis now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
Ezekiel okuva Kenya, musajja wa Katonda, Mukama amukozesa. Mujje mu crusade egenda okubeera ekirombe, manye obulamu bwammwe tebugenda kusigala kyekimu.
Uganda, are you ready for the biggest revival explosion? New Reference Center and the Church presents a revival hearing crusade by pastor and an international evangelist, Ezekiel from Kenya.
Shine, shine, shine. You shine and you shine. And just in the name of Jesus.
It will be held from 13th to 17th August 2025 at Zambia Chirombe Grounds, Kampala. Time 8 a.m. Come and take your miracle.
Mwenna abantu b'ekirombe, mwenna abali awo, mujje mu lukuŋŋaana. The Lord will seriously bless you.
All you are welcome.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products